And we're back with another episode of What's Hockey. As we always do, we're going to start off with Around That Hockey. Keaton, what you got for us?
Not a lot has happened. No major news, no new coaches, although there probably should be. We'll get to that in a second. No major injuries. There's a few people coming back, like Barkov and I believe Matthew Kachuk for the Panthers. Should be good to go coming this
Wall as
week.
well.
Yeah. Joseph Wall, I believe, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was a pretty solid goalie late in the stretch for their postseason run until they lost. But anyway, a few things have been moving along. A couple weeks into it, we've got an unbeaten team, the Jets. They're perfect through, what was it, 5 games? So
Yeah, with
pretty
an overtime
wild.
victory.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But
all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Last night it wasn't overtime. I think it was like 6-3. And then the game before that, or at least the one that I recognized, it was like 8-3 or something ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. All eight.
Cole Perfetti is looking perfecty, pretty good. Although I will say, just how last season turned out for the Jets, you should look to see them start shooting themselves in the foot, it is only 2 weeks. You can't really completely, I guess dictate what the season's going to do through just 5 games. But either way, look pretty good. Look pretty good so far. You're just going to leave this up to me the whole time?
Well, I mean, you were doing a fine job. I acted like I disliked your perfecting, but it was pretty solid. I'll give you some credit.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, we can go to the winless teams. You mentioned no big news, but maybe a coach should be fired. The Predators, winless right now. They make those moves in the offseason, bringing in Stamkos.
Pretty trash.
Spending all that dough just to end up not winning.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's super early in the season, so it is
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Imagine, though, they do go to the playoffs somehow, like starting 0-5 and then go to... It's possible. It's super early. And
it's definitely possible, but I definitely heard or saw something that, like, teams that start 0-5 or even 0-4, I don't think they make the playoffs.
It would be the first team, I believe. I think I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
It would be pretty wild,
bad.
But again, they have the players. It could be a situation like...
I mean, they got Brady Shea, they got Jonathan Marchessault, Steven Stamkos all came in. They already had, what was it, Philip Forsling, or Forsberg, sorry. It's Gustav Forsling from the Panthers. I always get them mixed up. Nice. But, yeah, I mean, they've got talent. They made the playoffs pretty easily last year. I mean, they didn't have anybody like vying for their playoffs, wild card spot last year. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, they probably might have a coach getting fired because, I mean, they've got the players that can play. Just don't really seem to be winning. And, our only 2 wins as the Detroit Red Wings came from the Predators. So, don't know what's going on there.
And like we've talked about in the past, firing a coach, that can definitely spark something. Like Edmonton last year, they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. Now, I'm not saying the Predators will do that, but I mean, they could easily turn it around and get to the playoffs. But hey, man, they do need to right the ship because currently it's just not going well for them. And then another team that's supposed to be playing pretty well, the Avalanche, are not playing well at all. Keaton, didn't they just get their first win?
Yeah, they got their first win. They've played 6 games so far, so they've now had 2 wins. But granted, both of those wins come from the Ducks and the Sharks. So, I mean, you can't really say... Teams? They're not the best teams. I mean, if we have any kind of indication from last year and a little bit from this year, the Sharks are still winless. They've got a few points from OT losses, but they don't win. They're not going to win. They're pretty trash. So, I mean, as far as the Avs are doing, I mean, they took 5 games to get their first win. I mean, Nathan McKinnon looked really good in that OT winner, but, I mean, I don't know. They're 2-4 now, so that's
Yeah.
not very good in my opinion. I mean, granted, the Red Wings aren't that great either. So,
I mean, in that same division, the Utah Hockey Club's destroying them as far as points goes. So, I mean, both the
yeah,
Preds and the Avalanche need to turn it around. And honestly, let's say so it's three teams right out of each division to make the playoffs. The Jets playing the way they are, the Stars are who they are, and Utah shooting up the way they did this season compared to when they were in Arizona. I mean, there's stiff competition for those playoff spots, man. So I mean, they got to get it together. It is. You did mention, the Jets kind of fell apart last year, and it is absolutely possible that they do it, or another team does. Maybe Utah cools down their hot start. But ooh boy, it's not looking great for the Avs or the Preds. Which, hey, good for me. I like seeing their downfall as a Stars fan in my own division. So no, yeah, it's wild that they combined have 2 wins between two teams that should be playoff teams, and it is early,
yeah,
but still,
it's pretty ridiculous.
yeah,
And it's even between, what is it, 11 games too. So 2 wins out of 11 games is pretty ridiculous.
yeah, that's pretty
And
bad.
I mean, that's
4 total
surprising,
points.
at least until a couple weeks or days ago, rather, the Calgary Flames were unbeaten. So it took
They
an OT
still
loss against
oh
the
OT
Kraken.
loss. Yeah, you're right.
Um,
Yeah.
but they never took like a regulation loss. They're looking pretty good. It's a nice bit of mix up because I mean, I don't think they were even considered to be playoff contenders at the end of the season last year, at least close
Mhm.
to it. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see a mix up. I mean, it always reminds me of football when you just see the same teams winning every year. It's just kind of frustrating. So it's nice to
Yeah.
see new teams winning.
Well, in Edmonton in that division, I mean, they do have 2 wins, so they're like Colorado. But I mean, again, there's going to be competition to get in the playoffs from
Yeah.
that division too. I mean, Vegas is of course
Well,
over
that
there.
whole division's pretty tight.
Kings,
I mean, as far as
Kraken,
competition is
Canucks.
concerned,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of talent in that. And now Calgary is playing the way they are. So, I mean, we'll see if the team that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals last year can right the ship there. But, I mean, mind you, the Stars did beat them, and we'll get to that. But there were points in that game where they were playing like an elite team. I think it's just early. They got to find their legs under them. But
yeah.
again, man,
First
like
2 weeks,
these slow starts and
yeah,
other teams are shooting out the gates hot. I mean, it's already getting a little tough, low key. We know how close it got towards the end of the season, where it's like 1 point deciding. In multiple, like
yeah,
it came down to the
exactly,
last game of the season in multiple divisions where it could have been any number of 4 total teams taking up 3 spots. And so it is early, but dropping points now it could hurt you long term. So it's pretty wild,
yeah,
man, that this early in the season it's already like a big deal to drop points. But
yeah. And I mean, as far as the top of the league currently, it's the Devils that have 11 points. Granted, they have played 8 games, and I think the next team played only 7, and then a bunch of teams have only played like 5 or 6. So they look pretty good, but we'll see what happens as the season goes along. I mean, they have the Hughes brothers, right? They're
the
pretty
Devils, yeah,
solid, so
yeah,
you know. And I mean, they were pretty close to making the playoffs, at least for the last maybe month or so of the season. So I mean,
Mhm.
they aren't that bad, and you shouldn't really shy away from them. But I mean, again, who knows what the season's gonna fold out to be, basically.
For sure, for
Um,
sure.
so yeah. Oh, Ovechkin scored his first goal, so he's 1 out of 42 to breaking that record. What was it? Three
Bro,
games in. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but
I don't think it's in
he's
them. I
he's
think,
making his way downtown, but
yeah,
walking slow.
yeah. That man
You
almost
probably
needs
didn't
a
get that.
walker right now. But
Making my way downtown, walking fast.
I
You don't
missed
know
it.
that
You know
song?
what? No, that was an incredible reference. I missed it. I kind of let you down on that one.
Yeah.
That was an incredible
Thanks, man.
reference, actually. I respect that.
Thanks, dog.
Keaton, the Red Wings were
uh,
playing some games this week. Tell us how
yeah.
they did.
Well, they went, oh, or sorry, I guess 1-3 or 2
Oh,
rather.
Is that what you
whatever
had
out of the 3
predicted?
games. No, we predicted one more win, but the Rangers they're probably pretty good. They're pretty good, you know.
That's fair.
Can't really can't really do anything about it. I figured we'd maybe even stretch it to overtime last week, like I said, but
Rangers. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the
probably not.
Rangers are like Calgary. Their only
We
loss
got
is
a
in
high differential
overtime.
too,
Yeah, so they're.
I
I mean, that's a good
believe.
team. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think both weeks we lost by a margin of 3, I think 5-2 and then 4-1, so, not great, but I mean, I liked how we've played, and I believe it was the first game. Um, Larkin scored with 1.1 second left in the first period, so it was a nice thing to tie it up right at the end. Have a lot of momentum going into the locker room. Just making sure that you have a tie game. You're not totally losing, but we just can't finish games. Can't seem to do anything during the second period. At least it seemed like it was last year. That's where we would always fall apart is during that second period. So, um, yeah, need to figure out what we're gonna do. I mean, Shusterkin played pretty well, and at least to begin with, Alex Lyon was at net. And I'm just kind of glad that we're not playing Huso as much as we did last year. But yeah, I mean, big issues. A lot of things are turnovers. Just passing the puck and the other team gets it, or just missing the guy and the other team recovers. It's just a really, I don't know. It just seems like we're not on the same page, not on the same level. I don't know. Just kind of looking lost out there. Who knows? But the next game we play again the Rangers, and I believe that game goes to 5-2. And while we score another goal than last game, it's not much any better. So yeah, but we did turn around. We won against Nashville 2 games out of the 2 times we played them, and they suck. So we had Cam Talbot at net in the first game. I believe we had him in the second. But yeah, I mean, he's only allowed 3 goals against in those 2 games. So it's not too bad. And yeah, playing pretty well on that last game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what about you, dog?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
you
So the
feeling?
Stars, I predicted we'd go 3-1, and we did go 3-1. But the loss is to a team that I did not expect. We lost to the Capitals, and we went ahead
The
and beat.
Capitals.
That's right, and we beat the Oilers. We also beat the Kraken and the Sharks. Sharks game went to OT. To be fair, Sharks were playing pretty well, and I believe we had Casey DeSmith in that game. Let me try to
Probably
confirm
no.
that. No, we had Otter actually. So I need him to step it up a little bit. But the one thing, my biggest takeaway, so like especially in the
You
Edmonton
need him
game,
to step it up.
early on in that Edmonton game, they were pressuring us. We weren't really getting great shots up, but we took it in stride, kept with our game plan. But the one thing I will say I really liked is our penalty kill. And actually, after looking it up, I knew it was a good penalty kill this season. I didn't realize we were the best team in the league with a penalty kill. We're killing 95% of power plays.
It's 2 weeks into the season. Chill out, bro.
It's a good start, though. I mean, like there was especially against Edmonton in the playoffs, their penalty kill, like we couldn't score on, and then their power play, we couldn't stop them. Special teams makes up like a good portion of the game, man. So like it's a big deal. So it's good to see
Yeah,
that.
dog.
Now, on the flip side, our power play percentage is 11. We've converted 11% of our power plays. Like
Pretty good,
truly,
dude.
the complete opposite. Super trash. Like I think here, I have it right here. The best in the league is like 44%. We're at a quarter of that right now. Like it's not what we need, especially with the amount of like good skating forwards that we have. We've got to convert more on that. Again, I mean, we have
You guys are
one loss
trash.
on the season, but I don't know. That's something that's got to be
Trash.
monitored. In that game against the Capitals where we lost, a big issue. I was watching I want to give him some credit. I think it was Craig Ludwig in DLLS Sports. They were doing a Stars podcast, and they were pointing out that when the Capitals scored their goals, they had a man like blocking our goalie's view. It was DeSmith that game for sure. They were blocking DeSmith's view, and so like making it more difficult on our goal or on a lot of our offensive possessions. We weren't blocking their goalie's view. Like we're not getting in the way, and so there are things that definitely can be improved upon. They kind of explain why you end up losing the Capitals. It's not luck. It was a good offensive possessions by the Capitals. So we definitely need to take a page out of their book, block some vision, get some more pucks on net, and score some goals. But again, 3-1, good start or good week right there. We have some upcoming games. Keaton, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you expect from the Red Wings in the next week of games?
Well, it looks like we play the Islanders, the Devils, the Sabres, and the Oilers.
You're going to lose every game?
I don't think so. I think we'll at least go 2-2 because the Islanders, they're just not good. They're trash. And the Sabres are equally as trash, if not worse. So, hopefully the boys don't let me down, but they probably will.
So you're gonna beat the Islanders.
The Devils look good. Sabres.
To be fair, so the Devils do have the most points, but they've also played more games than anyone. They're at 8 games played, said. So they have 2.
I did a whole blurb about that.
Oh, my fault, guy. All right, that was a huge mistake on my part.
Oh, classic. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We might get a third win because the Oilers are looking kind of disheveled. I don't know. Trash. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, I just feel like we'll go 2-2, have a couple wins, couple losses, and hopefully get right against the Islanders. I believe it's on Tuesday. So yeah, good old Taco Tuesday.
Right, yeah, we will see. That the Islanders game is yeah, you're right. Tuesday. Actually, sorry. Yep. Yeah, Islanders, Devils, Sabres. Making sure. So you're going 2-2. The Stars will play on Taco Tuesday. The
Probably
Sabres,
go 0-4.
Probably not. We're playing the Sabres. We got the Bruins.
We're losing the Sabres.
Both of those on the road. So we'll be doing a little road trip, and then we'll be hosting Chicago next Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
God didn't know.
Hold on. Yeah. There's like a big break between that game and then our next game.
That's not true.
Thrown off. Yeah, because that game's on the 26th, and then we don't play till the next Friday against the Panthers.
That's pretty good, dog.
I'm going to have to look into that. But, anyway.
Boy, what are you going to do? Change the schedule?
No, I'm just curious why there's such a big gap. I should actually know.
We need to play more games this week.
I'll send them an email and be like, dude, what's going on? No, I mean, it might be one of those series where it's like overseas or something, so I'm curious. I don't know. I got to look into it.
Or there's just a big break, because that's what happens.
A week? 6 days?
Yeah, no, why not?
And then immediately followed up by a back-to-back? Like, why wouldn't you just start those? All right. Anyway.
Nah, dude. They need that big break. They got family, dog. You don't know that.
Yeah, my bad.
Anyway. Kids and wives and shit.
All right. So
nobody's even going to play on the first. So
you were the goddamn worst person to ever do a podcast. But stop talking.
That was a lie.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
3-0. God, I'm done. We're going 3.
They're bad.
Yeah.
0-3.
We're going to beat the Sabres and the Bruins on the road, and then we host the Blackhawks here, and we will go ahead and dub them too. Quick question, and I'm sorry because I just thought about it. I know that the Sharks, the first overall pick, dude? Wasn't that
Celebrini?
Yeah, has there been an update to that, or is it just like his lower body?
I'm not gonna lie. I just heard that he might have gone to IR and he's week to week. So who knows?
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I was curious if there was anything going on there.
He could be dead.
He could be dead.
Who knows, dog? I wouldn't know.
So yeah, 13 hours ago.
So he's
resumed
apparently day to
skating.
day instead of week to week.
Okay.
But okay, so never mind. There's like conflicting articles. One says day to day, and the other one says week to week. And they're both 17 hours ago. So I mean, they're the same time. I don't know
13
what's
hours
going
ago,
on there.
NHL.com has him resuming skating, but remaining week.
Oh, what a beast!
Yeah.
19 minutes ago. That's what he's. This one says 19 minutes ago, and it says what you just said.
And that's the week to week?
Maybe they updated it. Yeah. It says he's progressing. He's still week to week. That's what Warsofsky said. Ryan Warsofsky, in case you didn't know.
We could be worse off.
And that's the coach, if you didn't know. What'd you say? I couldn't hear you over me talking over you.
That's all right. All right, that's fair enough. Keaton, you got any more like story? Did we miss anything? I tend to always skip something. Got anything you like?
I mean, not really. I mean, I guess there was a historic landmark, or not a landmark, a milestone. There you go. Iserman got his 1,000th game as a GM as well as a coach.
Stones?
I mean, player. Probably not. That'd take too long. Just kilometer stones, bro. Who says that?
Yeah.
Who even has kilometer stones, bro? They'd probably just say it meter stones.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Would you say?
All right. I think that's going to conclude this episode. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Have a good week. Let's go Red Wings.